We're back!
And welcome back to A Dose of Candor with Jay and Lee. And today we're going to be talking... This is an episode I recommended only because I watched several other videos about this. We're going to talk about big sister advice and just advice in general for girls.
Yeah. So sisterly advice in general.
Yes. From one sister to another.
Which honestly...
Hers are kind of boring and for old ladies.
What? No, I think mine are great, honestly. Did you want to start or do you want me to start?
I don't care.
Okay, I'll start. Well, the first thing that I wanted to tell people advice-wise is to take care of yourself, show yourself that self-love. And, take the time to, if you're feeling sick, rest, if you're feeling frustrated with something.
We all just had the flu.
Just self-love in general. Well, and especially with self-esteem with a lot of people in general, everyone always thinks they're imperfect or they have these flaws.
I have low self-esteem?
I'd say you're middle of the pack there. I feel like some days you're really, really confident and then other days you just complain about everything about the way you look and it's what is going on? But I
find it so funny because one time it's when we were outside and you were like, yeah, you're a pretty girl, and if anyone tells you anything otherwise, they're just jealous.
They're jealous.
And I go, well, what if I don't, what if it's me being critical of myself? And she goes, well, then you're just stupid.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like everybody should embrace whatever imperfections they perceive because I'm a firm believer in that our imperfections or what we perceive as that is what makes us all unique. So, it would be a boring world if we were all the same.
Yeah. What's your biggest insecurity?
I
know mine.
My biggest insecurity?
Yeah.
Actually,
I have two.
What are yours? I really can't
There's two.
think of anything.
One, I don't like the freckle on the tip of my nose. I hate
You have
it.
said that before.
It is one of my biggest things that I have always hated, and I just don't know. And the second is my nose. I've never liked my nose.
Yeah, you've said that before because you always say you want my nose.
Your nose is so perfect, and it's I don't know. I feel I don't like my nose, but my brother's girlfriend's no, I want your nose, but I like her nose too, and she's perfect. We can switch. Yeah,
I don't know why you don't like your nose.
I just feel it's fat, right here.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't think of something that I don't like about myself.
Do you just think you're perfect
that much? I don't think I'm perfect. I just, again, I do believe in just embracing yourself though. So, maybe that's just why I don't really have a huge insecurity like that. I think the only time I ever get really insecure is when I'm sick and I know that I probably look really bad. Now I will say growing up, I was really insecure about my smile because my sister would always tell me I had an ugly smile and that I needed to cover my mouth when I smiled.
Smile's so pretty.
I know. And then I would have people be like, why are you covering your mouth? You have a really pretty smile.
That's what people, that's whenever we take family photos, my grandpa's always smile with your teeth. You have a really pretty smile. I'm no.
And then that's when people were like, oh, your sister's just jealous. So it's okay. But no, so that was my number one.
Mine is about boys.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God. Can I just say this to even if you're not a teen girl, you don't love the boy. You don't. You might think you do, especially if you're in middle school, high school. You don't love the boy. You might think you do.
You might think you know what love is, but you might not. Maybe is that what you're saying, or?
Sorry, I'm gonna crash out.
Where are you going with it? Yeah.
No, because listen, I thought I loved the boy. Clearly did not love the boy.
Yeah.
No, I just think people I'm not speaking for everybody. Some people I think just they date somebody and then they're like, oh, like this is the one, like I'm gonna end up with them, and it's like, well, it especially like it's always early on, like they've been together for like a week or two,
Like-
or like a couple months, and it's like you don't love the boy because then they end up like breaking your heart, and then they're like, but I loved him, and it's like, did you really? And a lot of the times, like they realize later on, it's like they really didn't.
Right.
I'm one of those people.
Or like someone else might come along and they have stronger feelings for that person than maybe they did for another person they dated, and they're like, oh, like I thought that I loved them back then, but I really didn't, because what is this? Like, this is better than what that was.
I mean, because I don't remember who I was saying this to. Oh, I think it was my cousin yesterday. I was like, don't date when you're in middle school.
It's really, honestly, yeah, it's I'm
not
sorry, it's
worth
not serious. I'm sorry, dating in
it's
like elementary school and middle school,
no.
not serious. And they're like, what's the percentage of people? Gosh, I think there's been studies on this. The percentages of even like high school sweethearts that don't even stay together when
Like
they go to college.
They may get married. A lot of them like do like last out of college and they'll get married and stuff, but then they end up like getting
divorcing.
divorced.
Yeah.
Which is why divorce rates are so high, because
Oh my God.
like they realize.
Right. Okay, yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
don't love the boy.
play it safe. You might not really love that boy. Go to my number 2. My next one was steak.
Oh my
What?
Sorry.
She thinks all my things are old lady-ish, but like this is real advice. So stay connected to your family. So I know, like, you know, a lot of my friends, like when they graduated and stuff or went to college, like they went out of state, or even when they got job offers, went out of state, and they didn't really stay connected to their family. And then maybe that family member passed away, and then they regretted, you know, not staying in touch, and they felt really kind of guilty. So no, it's, you know, your family is one of your biggest support systems for a lot of people. So I just think it's really a good idea to stay connected and keep those relationships strong. What? Why are you laughing?
It's Brownie. Oh my God. No, I think one of mine, which is obviously I was volunteering for the school, is I think this is, I don't know if this is just like a girl thing, because I feel like a lot of guys don't do this, is when it comes to like school choices. Don't follow your friend everywhere when it comes to like schools or things, because I was even telling them when it came to like me choosing what high school I wanted to go to, I chose what high school I wanted to go to based on like my preference and everything, and I was like, well, I didn't even get any classes with half of my friends I was friends with in middle school.
Yeah.
And another thing besides like school choice is you can't just like be dependent on those friends, because you're obviously going to make new friends.
Yeah. Oh,
and
my
open
gosh.
the door for that, because I feel like a lot of people, or at least what I've seen in high school, they're like, they have their like close knit like friends and a group of friends and everything, and it's like when like someone wants to be their friend, they're like, well, no, like I already have my friends, I don't need any more friends.
Right. Well, and people change, especially as you get older.
I mean, I learned that a lot throughout middle school.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're not always going to be friends with the same people. And I mean, people have falling outs all the time.
You've heard a couple of those.
Yeah. But no, so yeah, I would say definitely always be open to having a good friendship, and actually that's my next one.
I looked at your list and I was like, wait, that's kind of like similar to what I was going to say.
Mine is to be a good friend. You know, if one of your friends has a problem, listen, be supportive, be understanding, don't judge. I think some people are really like,
stop looking at me.
No, because I'm talking, so it's like, yeah.
It's so funny because every single time, like, you'll be talking to your mom.
You have a conversation with people, you look at them when you talk. But you'll be talking
to your mom, and then you'll just, like, look at me, like, when you're saying something. It's like,
well, because it's like you're part of the conversation. I don't want to, like, leave you out of the conversation. But no, yeah.
That goes along with being a good friend.
Yeah, it does. Be inclusive. But yeah, I think the biggest thing here is to not judge. Because I know some people will not ask their friend for help or something because they're afraid they're going to judge them, or they don't want to lose them as a friend because they value them so much. But, you know, just try to be a good friend.
Kind of going along with like being a good friend. I feel like once I got to high school, there wasn't really much of this with certain people that I've
What's
told you
that?
about. But I feel like definitely in middle school, stop talking so much crap about somebody for no reason. Because I mean, I was going through.
That's that one-sided beef, right?
Yeah, I was going. The person we were talking about, one of the one-sided beefs with. I was going through our messages, and like her reasoning for talking crap about me is because she thought I gave her a dirty look. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that is the most stupidest like reason for talking so much crap about somebody, because I think that one person genuinely ruined my entire 8th grade year.
Yeah, but you know what? I know she kind of, she had drama with a lot of kids.
Yeah, and
I mean,
it came back to bite her in the butt in high school.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, it's so unnecessary. I mean, you guys have so many problems to deal with already. You really shouldn't have to deal with other unnecessary stuff.
I feel like, especially my 8th grade year, it was like one thing after another with her. And it was also like a couple of like her friends, which caused falling out of like with me and 2 of my close friends. And it's like, it's unnecessary. And a lot of the times it's considered bullying, especially when because I never said anything back to her. There was no point. And literally one-sided beef.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Well, and I think that kind of goes back to like another principle of like just having good communication with someone. Like if you think there's a problem, just ask them. I mean, because sometimes, I mean, people read too much into situations, like they overanalyze, and it's like maybe that person, like if maybe you think someone didn't hear you, maybe they, didn't hear you. Maybe they were in their own little world. I know I did that a lot. Like,
you still do that a lot
in the classroom, especially. I would be in like my own little world, and then I would like be asked later in the day, like, "Oh, did you hear about this happening?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, I was busy working."
She still does that, but no, I think a lot of times when it comes to like bullying and stuff and girls talking bad about each other is they don't realize what they're going on, like stuff that's going on at home and stuff.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Well, and that kind of goes with my next thing I wanted to give advice on.
I can't even see it. It's too far away.
It is to embrace life experiences. So I know like a lot of people make those like 5 and 10 year plans on the boards. What are those called? Like they have those boards and they put their goals.
Vision board?
Okay, yeah.
It's like a vision.
But yeah, and it's, if something doesn't go according to your plan, it is not the end of the world. And just embrace that change, like just embrace that new journey that you have. And I think the next thing that kind of ties in with that is learning life skills, like cooking and everything. 'Cause I feel like a lot of people eat out these days, and like I feel like generations aren't cooking as much or spending as much time in the kitchen. 'Cause I know when I was a little kid,
I'm not one of those. I cook dinner a lot.
When I was a little kid, like, I mean, I would be like at my great grandparents' house and I would cook with them, and my great grandma would like show me recipes. And I mean, I still use one of her banana bread recipes to this day. So I just think that, learning those life skills. So you're not like at home hungry and not know how to make anything but ramen noodles.
Oh my god, you're something.
But
else.
you like to make your chicken bacon ranch sandwiches, or is it the breakfast sandwiches that you guys like? You like to make. Your brother always tells you to make.
I'm confused where she got chicken bacon ranch.
Don't you make like chicken sandwiches at home?
It's chicken. I make chicken BLTs, chicken and steak fajitas, and it's the breakfast sandwiches I like, where it's like French toast, like both of them.
Yeah, your brother always asks you to make that, right?
Yes, he always. It's my older brother. He always wants me to make those, but honestly, I don't really like making those like a lot because they take forever, especially when you're making so many.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, and it goes with the kind of the next thing is balance. My next thing is to have balance. Find balance in your life, whether it's between like work or school, to find a healthy balance and don't overdo anything, because it's really easy to get burnt out. And then kind of along with that is to also think about like financial freedom and financial balances as well. That way you're not dependent on anybody. Because it just kind of opens up other doors to other issues.
Yeah, my brother's one of those people.
Your brother is financially dependent on you.
Yeah, because obviously the fair was here and I literally spent all of my money, and he even asked our mom for money to get in and stuff too, and he didn't pay for anything.
Yeah.
But anyways,
there went your babysitting money, your house sitting money, all of it gone in one night.
I had over $200 and it was all gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my, I need to actually speak up because I told you not to bring it up, but I feel like I need to bring it up.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to switch myself out. I was listening to our podcast on Spotify. That's where you can listen to it, obviously. And I was listening to it, and I realized how low I talk versus her, and it was aggravating.
Versus me, yes.
Stop making me feel self-conscious.
She's projecting her voice more today, though. So anyone who's listening, you've probably noticed. You can probably hear her a lot better.
I have a lot of anger. No. Something I want to bring up is being a girl's girl.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. No hate to anybody. But if you were one of those girls who was like, yeah, I'm one of the guys. Get out! Genuinely, get out! Oh my God. I hate... and I don't really hate, a lot of people or anything that much, I feel like. But, oh, my God. I'm crashing out. I genuinely hate when, there's those, and it's always what people call pick-me girls and everything. They're like, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, I'm one of the boys. And it's like, girl, no, you're not. You're literally a female. Sit down.
What's a pick-me girl?
Where she tries to be the center of attention, when she's like, oh, I'm one of the boys, and she's like, oh, you're wearing makeup? I don't wear makeup. I'm just so natural. And
oh, okay.
Stop being a pick-me. But no, be a girl's girl.
Like a story topper in a way.
What's a story topper?
So a story.
I know what you're talking about.
So if you're telling a story and then there's always someone that one person who always has a better story.
Where you're oh yeah, I broke my knee and I had to go get surgery.
And they're I broke my skull.
I broke my skull. Yeah, that's nothing. And it's
okay.
Respectfully sit down. No one asked you, and respectfully, no one cares. And a lot of the times they make things up just to be better than you too.
Right, just to exaggerate or get all the attention or something.
Yeah,
and no shade to any tomboys out there or anything.
No, I will say,
because I was a tomboy. I played a lot of sports
different.
and hung out more with guys. Well, in athletics and playing sports and stuff, not in that way, but no,
honey, no one was thinking that way.
The look you gave me.
It was giving pick me the way you said it, the way you worded it. No, there's definitely a difference between being a tomboy and being a pick me girl. But if you're no, but it's a constant thing. It's not where you're a tomboy and it's yeah, I go and play sports with the guys, like my guy friends sometimes. No, it's them constantly. All they talk about is being one of the boys. It genuinely infuriates me so much.
Now that I think about it, I can think of at least 2 girls I went to high school with that was like that. That did it for the attention and stuff. And it's
they only
what?
do it for attention. Sit down.
Yeah, it's what the go away.
Genuinely sit down. No, but being a girl's girl, let's say a girl's makeup isn't blended all the way. You don't sit there and be oh my God, your makeup's not blended all the way. You walk up to them and be hey, you might want to blend that in a little bit. Or just if they need extra feminine products or something, being a girl's girl.
Yes. No. One of your friends and one of my other favorite students that I had, you know how I used to get the Ipsy bags with the little trial things. I got a lip liner thing, so I had put it on one day, and this was your 7th grade year, and I had never used it before, so I didn't know how it would do, but apparently it was bleeding down. And we didn't make any fake names for this episode, but she told me, she's Miss Alford, your thing's bleeding. So I ended up having to wipe it off because it was smearing and
she was being a girl's girl. Yeah. And that's the thing. Cause a lot of girls when it cause even if it's just 2 people and they're oh, maybe we should say something. And always the pick me girls. No, like she can figure that out on her own. And it's like, just be helpful. Like,
Yeah.
be a girl's girl.
Right. Be like a true queen and like fix someone else's tiara or crown.
No. Don't ever say that
that's
again.
like that's on a meme online.
Don't ever say
like,
that again. That is such a weird, cringy thing to say.
It's a meme online. It's
Is
like
it an old person meme? No offense.
I have no idea who made it, but it is. It's like, fix the other like girl's crown without telling anyone you had to fix it.
Yeah.
Like that's what it was. But okay. My next one though, kind of talking about that though, in a way is, even though we said like the last one, like find balance and financials and stuff like that, don't rush growing up. My next thing is, do not rush growing up. Try to enjoy being young, embrace life experiences. Now, granted, I was kind of in a situation where I kind of had to grow up quickly.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are out there. So, I mean, I get it if you kind of have to grow up quickly. But if you're in a position to where you don't have to rush growing up and you have time to, if you have time to, just
oh my
like,
God, that actually came out so good on there. Sorry, I had to say that.
Oh gosh. But anyway, if you cannot rush growing up, enjoy being a kid as long as you can.
Yeah.
Did you want to add on to that at all, or?
What are you trying to say?
Oh, I just didn't know if you wanted to add on to that, or if you wanted me to move on to my next one on my list.
Well, I don't know if it's like fully growing up. It's kind of opposite. A lot of girls feel behind. I
don't know why, because like girls and women are so much more mature now. Statistically speaking, like research has shown, girls mature faster than boys.
Do we need to add a disclaimer in here? But no, like a lot of girls, like physically too, like a lot of girls feel behind, and like developmentally. Did I use
developmentally?
Yeah, I was trying to say that word. Yeah, but don't feel bad, because I know people who like are like very insecure about that, on the fact that they are growing less, like
not as quickly as the other girls.
Yeah, like they feel more behind in life.
Right, like I see where you're. Okay, I see what you're saying, and yes, I can see that. Yeah. So my next one on my list was forgive and move on.
No.
So kind of almost like that one-sided beef, like just don't do it in the first place. It's not worth the time and the energy. If you do have issues or anything, like, forgive and move on. I mean, I feel like sometimes people I feel like some people make mountains out of molehills. Blah, blah, blah. I need to take a drink of my soda. But no, so like say it's like a minor problem. And like, but then someone kind of exaggerates it and turns it into an even bigger problem than it is. Like, really, it's not. Things aren't worth that much energy. Yeah, but you can
forgive,
sometimes.
but not forget, depending on what the situation is.
Yeah. Oh, I remember on a old reality TV show, The Hills. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard of it. No. But one of the cast members on there in one episode, when it came to her and one of her best friends that kind of got in a tiff, she told her, she's like, I want to forgive you, but I can't forget. Yeah. Which that's fine. But it really is better to just forgive and move on, because I feel like at a certain point, if you can't just forgive and move on, that you're really kind of stunting your own personal growth and you're stunting your own peace. Do you not agree? I mean, it's fine if you don't.
With certain situations.
Yeah, I mean, obviously things are gonna definitely depend on the situation and everything. But and then kind of going, it kind of blends right in, I feel like, with the next thing.
I can't see that.
My very last thing that I wanted to share as advice is to be a good role model. And I know that that's not always easy and everything, but I do like that, do the next right thing.
That depends. It really does depend.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's like obviously, yes, be a good role model. But if you have to constantly like show somebody the right way and they're not figuring it out on their own and they rely on you to be their role model, then I think it's different.
Well, I think that's when you really have to like choose your friends wisely. Yeah.
Well, it's not always friends.
Or, well, I mean, that could go in with like, you know, kind of cutting out those toxic relationships. And family can be toxic too.
Yeah, we're talking about you, Dad. I should send this clip to him.
Aw. Well, I mean, I definitely understand where you're coming from. Did you want to kind of share with the audience, like, the last thing that he did that has you feeling the way you feel?
Sure. So, I don't obviously, I feel like this could be an episode too.
Yeah.
I don't have a good relationship. Holy sharks, that scared me.
Oh my goodness. It's always exciting over here.
That genuinely scared me so bad. But no, I don't have a good relationship with my dad, and obviously I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all. It's just plain out like I don't have a good relationship with that at all.
Yeah.
But I've never asked for anything, not money at all, like nothing.
Right.
And oh, that's the car. I thought that was one of the dogs. But no, the last thing I asked him for was to change my last name to my mom's last name, because how it is obviously I don't have anybody's first name. It's my own. But I have my mom's middle name because it's passed down from my great grandma on my mom's side. And I have my dad's last name. And so I, like, obviously since I don't have a good relationship with my dad, I don't really want his last name because it's kind of just like another reminder.
Right.
And so I even, like, talked to my mom about it, which I've talked to her about this for, like, I want to say, like, a good 2 years now. And so I was like, you know, maybe I should message my dad about it. And I messaged him, and I even asked him, I was like, hey, like, if, like, I even asked him I have a question. He's like, yeah, what's up? And I was like, if we get all the paperwork together and everything, like, will you allow me to change my last name? And his response is if your mom signs away, like, off my child support, I will.
Right.
And I was like, no.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Which he never really pays anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't pay it at all. So that's why it's like, no.
Yeah. So he's like basically using that as leverage against you of like,
yeah,
and have your mom sign this away or I'll never agree to this.
Yeah.
But I mean, good news for you though is that you can do it when you're 18, right? Anyway.
Yeah, once I'm 18, which soon. Once I'm 18, I'll be able to do it. So, and I even told him that. I was like, well, you either have, like, you can sign it on your own free will. And I thought, by me asking you to do this one thing for me, I was doing the right thing. But since you're obviously not cooperating with me, I'm just going to do it when I'm 18. And you have no say in it at all. And so then his reasoning is that, well, you're going to get married one day anyways and change it. I was like, well, you don't know that.
Right. I mean, actually, a lot of women don't change their name anymore. And sometimes the men change their last name to what the woman's last name is.
Yeah. Or like they even hyphenate their last name.
Right.
Too.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so it's like, well, you don't know that. And I was just like, you know what? I'll be 18 soon anyways. Like there's no point of me like sitting here talking to you about it. And after like I like sent my last message, he blocked me. Because he knew everything because I said some other stuff that I'm not going to say.
She shared her feelings.
Yeah, well, because I've always bottled up my feelings about him, like, to even that side of the family. And I never really shared my feelings to them at all. And so it's like I just kind of
because you didn't want to be criticized, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to feel like they also had to pick sides either.
Right,
because he's that type of person, too, to make it be like, well, you either have me or her. And so I just, like, never said anything. So I, like, just kind of, like, finally had enough. And so, like, I was just sharing to him how I felt. And you can definitely tell, like, he did not like the way I felt. So he just blocked me. And I even told you because I even, like, was literally crying about it because it, like, hurt my feelings a lot. And you're like, well, why are you crying? Like you thought.
Yeah, I was like, well, he's behaved this way all these years. Like, how does this really how are you letting it affect you this much when you know this is how he is? Yeah. But I was not aware that, like, he had never actually directly
he's never
communicated that way to you.
outright to me, because it's always been through, like, my mom,
a third party, or
my mom or
yeah.
my aunt or like some other family member. It's never
Yeah.
been directly towards me.
Yeah. So when you explain that, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, well, that changes things, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, so just always, try to do that next right thing. And kind of like segueing into it. Our next episode is going to be about donating. So yeah, one of the good things that people can do too is to donate and help others when they have the ability to. And so, feel free, join us for our next podcast episode about different places you can donate. Feel free, visit our website at adocpodcast.com, as well as
Our own social media, ADOC podcast. We're on Instagram and TikTok.
and Spotify,
Please go follow.
of course.
Go follow.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.